Good morning, class. I'm so excited for this science lesson that we have today. We are going to be learning all about life cycles. So, I want all of you guys to pay attention, give me your best listening ears, looking eyes, and get ready to learn some more about life cycles. So, let's get started. My goal for each of you by the end of this lesson is for you to be able to explain the life cycle of a caterpillar. And I want you guys to just have a better idea of what a life cycle really is. So, what is a life cycle? A life cycle is a series of stages a living thing goes through during its life. All plants and animals go through life cycles. That means me and you go through life cycles, the trees outside go through life cycles, the bees go through life cycles, any animal, your dog, it goes through a life cycle. So this is important for us to know because it helps us learn more about the environment around us. So today we're going to be looking at the life cycle of a butterfly. Now some of you guys might have an idea already because maybe you've seen a caterpillar outside, maybe you've seen a butterfly outside, maybe you didn't know that these are actually the same insect, just in different stages of the life cycle. But we are going to dive in and learn a little bit more about what exactly the life cycle is. I want you to stop for a second and just look at this chart right here. Notice how the arrows, which direction they're facing, see how it makes a circle. That's why we call it a life cycle, because it's going to repeat. And that will be important as we dive into each stage. Also notice that there are 4 stages. We are going to get into a little bit more information about each one. So let's get started. The first stage that a caterpillar or a butterfly has in their life cycle is the egg stage. So you can see here that the little eggs are laid on a leaf. They are laid by an adult butterfly. I want you to remember that because that will be important later. This is the first stage in their life cycle. So maybe you guys have seen this. Maybe you've seen little white balls on a leaf and you've thought, I wonder what those are. There's a good chance that those were little caterpillar or butterfly eggs. So this is our first stage. So think of these as the little tiny baby caterpillars getting ready to hatch into the world. The second stage is the caterpillar or the larva stage. The eggs hatch into a caterpillar. So those little tiny eggs, they hatch into these little baby caterpillars who then grow. During this stage, this caterpillar is going to be eating lots of leaves to get ready to go into its chrysalis. So it starts as a little baby caterpillar and then it's going to keep eating and eating. Maybe you guys remember the Hungry Caterpillar book that we've read before. It's going to keep eating and eating and getting bigger and bigger until it's ready to go into the next stage. So let's see what the next stage is. The chrysalis or the pupa stage is the next stage, the third stage in our life cycle. Caterpillars spin their silk to form a chrysalis. In their chrysalis, they begin their transformation to a butterfly. So this is maybe, in my opinion, the coolest stage for the caterpillar. So after they've eaten all those leaves, they've gotten ready, they're going to spin this little cocoon to make their chrysalis. When they're inside the chrysalis, they are changing from a caterpillar into a butterfly. How cool is that? So, then, as you know, the fourth stage is the butterfly stage. So they're going to emerge from the chrysalis with full-grown wings ready to fly around. So, now the butterfly can lay eggs and the life cycle will repeat. So, this is the adult butterfly, and they're going to be the creature that's laying those little eggs that we had at the first stage. So that is why our cycle just goes around and around. So stop and think about those 4 stages that we just talked about. I want you to pause the video after I explain this, and I want you to grab a piece of paper and draw out the butterfly's life cycle just from memory, using your memory of what we just talked about. I want you to try your best to number each stage, draw a picture, or write the words of the stage to help you remember what exactly the stage was. So go ahead, pause the video, grab a piece of paper, and see what you can do. Okay, I hope you paused the video. I'm going to show you what your life cycle should look like. So if you remember, we have our first stage, the egg. Then we have our second stage, the caterpillar. Then the chrysalis, the third stage, and then our fourth stage is the butterfly, and then it repeats. So important thing about the life cycle is you want to make sure that your arrows are facing the right direction and that they make a circle. Awesome job, guys. I'm sure you did great with those. Now we get to move on and try it on your own. I want you each to think about an animal or an insect that you would like to choose. Maybe you're interested in them, maybe you have some questions, or maybe you already know a lot about them. I want you to do some research on the internet or with your parents or from a book if you happen to have one to find out what their life cycle is. Then you're going to go to Google Classroom, you're going to post it on the Google Jamboard that I will have there, and that way all of your classmates can see what you learned. So this can be any animal, any insect, you can even do plants if you would like, and you are going to talk about their life cycle. I provide an example for you using the caterpillar and the butterfly life cycle on Google Jamboard, but I don't want you to use that one since we just talked about it as a class, okay? So each of you are going to be creating your own little Google Jamboard, and then feel free to look at other people's. Make sure you're not writing on other people's, and then when we are back in class, we will present them. So I'm very excited to see what all of you guys come up with, and I know that you guys are going to do great. As always, feel free to email me, have your parents contact me if you have any questions at all or you need any help with research. All right, have a great day, guys. I'm excited to see you again soon.